And joining us now, retired NATO Supreme Allied Commander Admiral James Stavridis. Admiral, during the President-elect's press conference, he spoke out about Assad. Let's watch.
I can say that Assad was a butcher. What he did to children. You remember I attacked him with the 58 missiles, unbelievable missiles coming from ships 700 miles away, and every one of them hit their target. But I did that. That was the red line in the sand.
Now, the other big question for Americans, for the administration right now, is Deborah Tice and what she said to Kristen Welker. Austin Tice, believed to be alive by the administration. Here's what, excuse me, while I clear my throat. Here's what she said to Kristen Welker about whether the U.S. is doing enough.
We have incredible respect for the people that are going into the cells in the prisons. That must be very challenging. But we do have some feelings about what Richard thought, and we're just so glad that he went in there, and we're so glad that he filmed it, and it mattered. It mattered to us hugely.
Should the U.S. government be there?
What do you think?
We'll take your silence as your answer there.
I thought that was very telling as well when Kristen asked that question, because the fact is that the French are now sending people in, but as far as we are told, the administration is talking to the rebels, but doesn't have anyone on the ground. Now, I know how dangerous it is, but what Deborah Tice was talking about is that Richard Engel and Deborah Tice confirmed the accuracy of this. Richard Engel went in and found, through his sources, someone who had been an eyewitness, at least back in 2022, to Austin Tice in an adjacent, cell, and Richard got into that cell.
Yeah, there is no question that at the earliest stage possible, the U.S. government should be putting people on the ground. I am certain that conversation is happening. My hat is off to Richard Engel and other intrepid journalists who are doing exactly the same thing. You see different stories about people going into these prisons. And I suppose for the Tice family, it must be heartbreaking not only to see those doors open and not see Austin's face coming out, but also wondering, could my government be doing more? I know Tony Blinken, I know Lloyd Austin, I know Jake Sullivan. They are leaning forward and doing all they can. Perhaps they don't want to show the U.S. government faces on the ground there, but in my heart, I think they are engaged, and I certainly hope that they are.
Let me also ask you about the whole question of what Israel is doing, because Israel is just hammering Syria. Now they're talking about settlements in the Golan, which is a disputed territory, needing a buffer. Understandable, they needed that with Lebanon. They weren't satisfied at all, and it was proved correct in terms of the weapons that were being buried on that supposedly DMZ. They weren't satisfied with the UN forces there. But how do you see Israel's continued bombing attacks, taking out weapons depots, but how complicated is that?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's in U.S. interest, in Israel's interest, in the interest of the West, that WMD, weapons of mass destruction, are destroyed. And I think that is Israel's primary target. They're also going after some of the conventional military capability of Syria. And I think that's also appropriate if you are a decision maker in Jerusalem. From a U.S. perspective, we want no WMD, weapons of mass destruction, notably chemical weapons. Number two, we don't want terrorism to reflash there. And number three, we want our allies, Israel, Turkey to the north, that's a NATO border. We want whatever level of stability we can achieve. And number four, any Americans that are caught in this crossfire, like Mr. Tice, we want them home. So we've got some pretty clear objectives here. I hope the administration continues to support that approach in Syria, because as you're showing on that graphic, it's a huge country in the Middle East. There's a big population, 21 million. There'll be more people coming back now that the regime has collapsed. There's going to be a lot of chaos there, Andrea. We ought to worry about that, and we ought to be doing all we can to rally the international community to encourage these rebels to have a peaceful transition into control of Syria.